JFD, just fair and direct.
Okay, hello and good morning everyone. Welcome to JFD Traders Espresso with me, Darius Anucauskas. Today's the 4th of November 2020, so yep, welcome everyone. Welcome to this Wednesday's morning session where we're going to have a very quick look at the markets, a few of the charts, basically the usual stuff. We'll have a look at of course, this is a very interesting day that we are going through today, right now. And yep, but before we jump in all that, guys, let me go through our risk disclaimers. So the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, a few seconds for you to read the rest and we can continue. So now then, also just before we jump into the charts, a quick mentioning of our JFD YouTube channels, which you can always subscribe to in order not to miss any of our upcoming videos, and of course our JFD Bank website and specifically our JFD research page, which we also update on a daily basis. So yep, feel free to visit us here on jfdbank.com and click on the research tab right there on the top. Once it loads up, well, of course, you probably know already by the time now. So yeah, keep your eyes on this one. We do update this on a daily basis. So yep, feel free to check us out. Now, jumping into the markets, of course, we're still waiting for the results, and to be honest, it might be that it's not going to be a straightforward one. So so far, according to the polls, Biden leads by 224. Trump, not by, but Biden leads with 224. Trump with 213. So basically, it's a very close one. Another thing what's interesting here, of course, looking at the charts right here, is that it seems that the market is kind of taking the fact positively that Trump is kind of stepping up here. So of course we know that we know that theoretically Trump could be a little bit better for the equity markets, for the U.S. equity markets, not the European ones. But yeah, for now, guys, it's like I said, it's a close one. So it's still the battle is happening as we speak. So for now, the technical picture here, first of all, the fact that we managed to overcome this downside line nicely. This is what I talked about on Monday, guys. Yesterday Nikkei was closed, so on Monday I was saying that if this downside line gets broken, then yes, higher levels could be met. You can see that Nikkei traveled higher today. It opened with a nice nice positive gap here, and yep, it drifted back up. However, although we saw this it overcoming this highest point of October, still the index failed to close above it, and it stayed slightly below this 23,725 zone. So what this just proves that this area is an important one to watch, and if we get that daily close above it, then yep, higher levels here could be met, and then we could consider a further move north. So for now, guys, keep your eyes on this barrier. Also, keep your eyes on the cash index today, depending on how the whole day is going to shape up today. Yes, the European indices will probably react first. I think, let's see, of course, and yep, and then we will, like I said, it all will have an effect on the cash index here on Nikkei. So keep your eyes on that one. If by any chance Nikkei starts falling back below this downside line and drops below this 23,097 territory right here, then yep, we could consider maybe a bit of a decline here. So that's of course from the technical side. Don't get me wrong, there's still a lot of uncertainty and who's going to win. So yeah, let's keep an eye on that as well. Now jumping into Shanghai Composite, the index also is trading slight, or should I say traded slightly in the green. but still remained below this key resistance area I keep talking about, this 3,280 zone. So yesterday I mentioned this one, and yesterday I've talked about this this barrier, and was saying that in order to get a little bit more comfortable with higher levels, we need to see a strong push above this area. And we did get a push above this area initially, but it didn't really kind of stay above it. So now we're back at the same place. Basically, we're still waiting for that nice good daily close above this area, above this 3,280 zone, in order to get a little bit more excited with higher levels. Now, jumping into German DAX now, here the situation is quite interesting as well. Look at this beautiful move. Everything worked out according to the plan yesterday, so we had a further move higher. We tested this area, this 11,957. We overcame the psychological 12,000 zone, and then we've tested perfectly. We're actually is it just a few points missing? There we go, guys. So just a few points missing from hitting that 38.2% retracement on the Fibonacci, and look at this beautiful move. So if I look at the cash index right now and what it's doing currently, okay, now this is beautiful. I mean, we're having a nice reversal back down. So basically this technical scenario is working out nicely. But what I was saying, that if it finds some resistance somewhere around here, then we may see a bit of a correction back down, because the cash index currently is trading at around a 12,040 mark. So basically slightly above that psychological 12,000 zone. So of course, keep your eyes on this one as well today. We'll keep an eye on the results and see how everything's shaping up. But yeah, for now, the technical picture is this, that this downside line continues to provide resistance. If you want to look at some lower levels now, well, what I would probably do is I would wait for at least a drop below this 23.6% retracement on the Fibonacci, because as you can see, it kind of acted as a good area of resistance, also support. So yeah, this 11,855 territory could be an interesting one to keep an eye on. So yep, keep an eye on that one. Now jumping into DXY, the dollar index, and look at this roller coaster ride, guys. I mean, this is a nice push back up here. So yesterday I talked about this idea where if this gets broken and we see a nice good strong move below this 93.12 territory, 12-13 zone, then yes, we could consider lower areas. But you can see it briefly dropped below it and then kind of reversed back to the upside. So again, it's a bit of a close call here. For now, yes, it's trading still above this 93.90 zone, so a bit of, let's say, positivity for the dollar index. And if it stays above this area, above this 93.90 zone, then yes, a higher level here could be met. And still, I will be aiming for this 94.65 level, which is the lowest point of March and is seen not far from the highest point of September. So very good potential target here. I'll aim for that if the price continues to balance above the 93.90 level. So keep your eyes on that one. Gold, of course, is not liking the stronger dollar here. Initially, you can see it did push slightly above this 1911 territory that I spoke about, and what I was saying, that if we get a nice push, strong push above it, or we get a nice daily close above this, the daily candle close here above this area, then yep, this is where it could become a little bit more interesting for more buyers. We did get that little false breakout here, and now the commodity is drifting back down. Of course, also the same story. Continue monitoring the situation in the US, yep, then we'll see if this commodity will react accordingly. Of course, for now, guys, I mean, given the situation, given the circumstances, I mean, it's a little bit difficult, to be honest, to try to find like the next directional move here, but I'll still stick to my plan here, and if I get a nice daily candle staying above this 1911 territory, then yes, I'll start looking at some higher levels. But if we get a nice good drop below this 1863 territory right here. Now this is where, actually not this one. Let me just adjust this very quickly. Let me just capture this little swing here. The low of the 29th of October, and I think is the lowest point of October. Yes, indeed. So 1860 mark, just bang on that level. So if we get a drop below this 1860 territory, now this is where the commodity would confirm a forthcoming lower low, and in a way could open the door towards further declines. Now jumping into WTI oil, yesterday it failed to stay above this 38.31 level. I talked a lot about this, and basically before even when we were still trading below this upside line, or yes, below this upside line, what I was saying that if it climbs back up, still I would prefer to wait for a nice good move above the 38.31 zone. We did get a move, but we didn't really get daily candle kind of staying yesterday above it. Now today we get, like I said, today we got that move. But it's still trading below it. Now, of course, the day has just started, so maybe we'll see this one pushing further north. However, again, at the moment, be very careful. Also, keep your eyes on the dollar index, because that's gonna WTI will depend heavily on that as well. So let's see how all this is gonna play out. Now, Bitcoin Cash. Now, looking at this one, unlike Bitcoin itself, Bitcoin Cash is drifting to the downside, and it's moving to now it's currently getting a hold up near this 241.50 territory right here. Now, I previously talked about this idea where if we see a drop below the 252.31 zone, I'll aim for the 231.93 level, and look at this beautiful move. Just fell shy of a few points from reaching that level exactly, and then it drifted back up. So now basically everything has to be a little bit adjusted again. So basically now I'll keep an eye on this 241.50 zone. If we get a further move below it, yes, I'll aim for some slightly lower areas, but I'll be very careful near this 231.90 zone, because it seems to be proving itself to be a nice support zone. But if that gets broken, then of course my next target is this low of the 2nd of October, or in other words, the lowest point of October near the 212.50 zone, and that's going to be my next target here. So again, for now, guys, be very careful. Be very cautious, and like I said, yes, if we get a move below this 241.50 zone, then yes, we could start considering lower areas. But to get a little bit more excited with the downside, a drop below the 231.90 zone could do the trick for more sellers. So keep your eyes on that one. Now, in terms of the upside, I would prefer actually to wait for a push above this barrier right here, the 272.11 or 10. I mean, or in a way you could still round it up towards the 272 mark. A nice good push above it could open the door towards higher levels. Now, jumping into a few pairs, and also before I continue, not to mention that we have the whole kind of U.S. election thing happening today. There is some data coming out later on, so keep your eyes on that one as well, guys. From the Eurozone, we're getting the services PMIs for October, and there the expectation is for a decline, a further decline. I mean, it's already in contraction, and now the forecast is that it could continue drifting further south. So basically the previous number was at 48. Now the expectation is for 46.2, so which is not really good for that. So we have the services PMI from UK. Those are expected to go down as well. However, still in expansionary territory. But again, we'll see how that's going to play out. Of course, one of the main data sets to keep an eye on from the US will be the ADP non-farm employment change. I mean, some people do like to kind of use that as a gauge for non-farm payrolls this Friday, but I strongly recommend not doing that, because that doesn't really correlate lately that much. So positively, I mean. Yep, and also we have the ISM non-manufacturing PMIs as well. So again, a bunch of data to keep an eye on today. Let's see how all this is going to play out. Jumping back into the pairs, AUD/JPY, as I've talked previously, this downside line continued to provide good resistance. So that's great news for the sellers. You can see that the pair is trying to move lower. However, for now, to be honest, I'll be a little bit more on the cautious side, and I'll at least wait for a drop back below this 74 territory right here that I spoke about previously. Now, previously I talked about this idea where I could see a push higher, but if this 74 territory provides good resistance, then we could see another slide lower. Now, here you can see that then what I was saying as well, that if it breaks above the 74 territory, then yes, it could travel higher, but only up until this downside line. And this happened exactly that. It did drift higher north, tested this downside line, and now is drifting back down. However, we cannot really talk about the downside yet until at least we get a drop back below the 74 territory. Ideally, I would prefer to see a daily candle staying below this area, and then, yep, considering further declines. So let's keep an eye on this one, guys. If it pops above the high of today, the current high of today, which is around the 75.48 zone, now this is where it could become a little bit more interesting for more buyers. So keep your eyes on that one. USD CAD. Now this one is beautiful. I mean, yesterday in the beginning of this week, I talked about this idea where if we get a drop below the 1.3180 zone, my next target is going to be the 1.31 territory, and I'm going to stop there and I'm going to reevaluate it again. And to be honest, I'm quite smug about myself right now, and I'm quite happy about this because it worked out nicely. So, and now we're seeing this nice strong reversal back up. Previously as well, I said that if in order to consider the upside, at least a push back above the 1.3278 level is required. But as you can see, this is the resistance where it found today, where the pair found today. This is the resistance level, and yep, for now guys, basically kind of waiting for this one to move at least back above this 1.3278 zone. In this scenario right now with this daily candle, I would like to see also it staying above it, because again, what I don't want to see here is a false breakout, and yep, and that's where you get caught out a lot of times. So again, let's wait and see on this one. And to be honest, probably now, if you're looking for something more kind of careful and cautious, then if you were looking for some downside and to be a little bit more on the safe side, wait for a drop back below the 1.31 zone here, because such a move here would confirm a forthcoming lower low, and yet further declines towards the lowest point of September could be possible. In terms of the upside, I'm still, like I said, this 1.3278 level, that's what I'm keeping an eye on, and ideally I want to see a nice daily candle staying above it. Now, jumping into JPY, quick update here. So you can see this downside line continues to work out nicely. I talked about this pair yesterday, and basically this is what I've mentioned as well, that keep your eyes on this downside line, because if it continues to provide somehow resistance, and it does right now, you can see that, then, well, I mean, we could see this one declining back down. However, in terms of the downside, now this is going to be a little bit of a tricky one, and probably I would like to see maybe a drop below yesterday's low, which is around the 135.05 level, and in order to be a little bit more on the safe side. And even then, we do have a bunch of support levels right here, but if you're really looking for something comfortable, then you can wait for a drop below the 134.37 territory, which is the low of the is this the lowest point of October? Yes, that's the current, that's the, not the current, but the lowest point of October, which is around the 134.37. And then, yes, of course, we could consider further declines, because such a move would confirm a forthcoming lower low, and the next target here could be the lowest point of September. But again, for now, that's like I said, it's a tricky one. Again, also the pair is waiting for the results, and or no, should I say, the traders are waiting for the results. So if you want to be a little bit on the safe side, if it pops above today's high, which is around the 137.38 zone, now this is where you could start looking at some higher levels here. The highest point of October near the 138.04 level, or even above that. So keep your eyes on that one. Now, one of my favorite ones, EURAUD, and if you remember, throughout the whole of October and September as well. I've mentioned this one. Basically, in October, I was saying, guys, to you that keep your eyes on this one. Don't short it yet, because we are aiming for that psychological 10,000, or not 10,000, but 10 level. And look at this beautiful move. I mean, look at this test of that psychological 10 territory, and then a reversal back down. So at the moment, guys, yes, the Turkish economy seems to be in a bit of a pickle, I would say, like this. And yep, let's see how all this is going to play out. But at the moment, it's not looking good here for TRY against the euro. So again, in a way, if you want to look at some downside, well, at least wait for a good drop, a good daily candle staying below this 9.77 territory right here, roughly around here, guys. And excuse me. Because again, for now it's still one-way traffic. It still could travel higher and retest this psychological 10 zone, because again, it's a very attractive level, and we could see another test, and we could even see a false breakout here. And then, for example, if the daily candle breaks out here, but then the body stays below that psychological 10 zone, then yep, maybe this could lead to a bit of a reversal, a bit of a correction, at least a correction to the downside. But at the moment, guys, it's just a difficult one. And if you're looking for some levels here, then yes, wait at least for a drop below the 9.77 territory. Then be careful near this area right here, this the 9.64 mark. But if that gets broken, now this is where we could consider a further decline. However, then another little obstacle, another little problem here would be this little short-term upside support line, and then of course we'll take it from there, guys. That's why I have this still. My arrow is from around here, from this 9.37 zone, but I do understand we could be missing out on a bit of a room here. So that's why, yeah, be very careful for now. And Euro Aussie, quick update here. Now, again, worked out nicely, worked out beautifully. The pair drifted below this level here, this 1.6461 territory. I talked about this in the beginning of this week. I was saying, guys, that in order to consider the upside, it wasn't enough that the pair was kind of balancing still above this upside support line. No, we needed at least a push back above the 1.6686 level. If it would drop below this upside line and below this 1.61 territory, then I could consider a move towards this 1.6340, or even slightly below that, if I'm actually not mistaken here. I mean, it reached these levels here, the lowest point of October, near the 1.63 territory, or 1.6308 level to be more precise. It found support here and then rebounded. So basically this worked out nicely. It reached my level first, then of course it overshot it a little bit, but that's fine. I mean, the main target was the 1.6340. Now the big question here is, can this pair climb back up above this upside line? Now the only thing is that what I don't want to see here, and I want you guys to be a little bit cautious on that one as well, is the fact that let's see if this is not gonna end up forming somewhat of a head and shoulders pattern, with the neckline being right here. Basically, it could climb back up right now, test this upside line from underneath, fail to move above it, and then reverse back down. So again, we've seen this happening several times, but that's why I'll have my upside scenario still from this 1.6686 level. If it drops straight away below the 1.6308, then yes, further declines are possible. Quick update on Euro GBP until I run out of time. I totally forgot about Euro GBP, and basically previously when I talked about this one, I was saying that if we get a break through this area, through this highlighted area, and we get a nice daily candle staying below it, then yes, further declines are possible, at least towards this 200-day EMA, which is doing the same trick again, guys. Look at this. I mean, it did the same thing here in the beginning of September. It found good support, or should I say, it acted as a good support level for this pair, and now it's doing the same. If it drops and we get a nice daily candle staying below this, then I'll reevaluate this again, and probably we'll start looking at lower levels, like the lowest point of September near the 0.8866 level. So, but again, for that we need to see this daily candle staying below this 200-day EMA at least. And finally, Euro USD. So this one is going to be a roller coaster today, to be honest, and that's why be very, very careful, because look at this one. I mean, yesterday it popped higher, it stayed above it. Today it continued to rally, but then reversed sharply to the downside. But still, this level here, roughly this 1.1612 territory, is doing the trick. It's providing some sort of support, but if we get a further decline below it, then keep your eyes on some lower levels here. It could even move towards this 200-day EMA. And yeah, guys, so also just wanted, out of curiosity, just wanted to have your attention and kind of ask you to, once the video is finished, could you, in the comment box, could you put who do you think is going to win, to be honest, Trump or Biden? And in the comment box, after the video is finished, after the video is uploaded, could you place your comment? That would be really interesting to find out, to be honest. So yeah, just a bit of interaction here. So yeah, guys, I hope this helps. Let's pick up on later on at my traders tea time, 14:15 GMT. We'll see how everything's kind of developing in the US, and maybe we'll have some sort of results or something like that. But yeah, at the moment, guys, I hope you have a wonderful trading day. Stay safe, and I'll see you later. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.